Jai Hind all. My name is Babita. I am assistant professor in MCE department as Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. So today we are going to start the new lecture in the series of IoT, Internet of Things, and this is my second lecture in this series. And this lecture is more beneficial for the MCA students who are pursuing MCA from AKTU Abdul Kalam University. So let's get start this lecture with the topic sensors. So basically, as we know about the IoT is an Internet of Things in which huge amount of things, we can say different kinds of things are connecting together with the internet. There is no intervention of the human being. There is the combination is going on between the things to things. That is the IoT. And in this implementation of the IoT, there is a more important, we can say the core component, which is a sensor. So today is we are explore, we are diving into the depth of the sensor. So basically, first question is that what is the sensor? So let's get start to explore by this definition. And on this completion of this lecture, you definitely the learner will learn about the sensor and different kinds of characteristics of the sensor and what are the types of the sensors. Next we will explore and we will discuss about the working of the sensors. That means how sensors work in the environment of IoT. And next, last one, we will talk about some application areas where sensor is most widely used. So this is the core aspects on which we are going on this lecture. So firstly, I just want to a question from you. Basically, if just assume that if we have not the opportunity to use a sensors, we can say if I live in the environment of the IoT and we have a no option for sensor. So how will be the life without sensor? So basically, there are some examples through which I explore the concept and through which I carrying your that means आपके point of view को मैं एक इस तरफ means direct करना चाहती हूँ. तो what if you have not the smart watch? So how can you track your heartbeats? Today every person have a smart watch, and why they have? Because they wants to track our their heartbeats, right? They track some health concepts, some health dimensions, right? And another example in which we assume the concept of sensors, just we heard about the self-driving cars. That means without drivers you can also drive the cars. So what happened if there is no sensor in self-driving cars? So then how can we detect the objects on the road? Just suppose कि आपने self-driving car को just means रोड पे आपने ड्राइव होने के लिए छोड़ दिया, देन दिस सेल्फ ड्राइविंग कार हाउ डिटेक्ट द ऑब्जेक्ट्स एंड वेयर इट विल स्टॉप और नॉट, देन हाउ कैन यू डिटेक्ट इट if we don't have the sensors, right? And next, if I'm talking the example of home lights, right? In your home, at your home you have an environment of IoT, then how your lights on and off without sensors? So this is the basic requirement of the sensors. If you are working, if you are implementing, or if you are take the advantage of IoT infrastructure and IoT technology. So this is the world of sensors. That's why it is mandatory to understand it, right? So basically, if I'm talking about the sensors, so firstly, the sensor is a hardware. We can say the sensor are the hardware components that can detect events and changes in its surroundings. So basically, if I'm talking the IoT is nothing but without a sensors, because the core functionality and core steps is implemented or is done with the help of sensors. The first basic for most step of the IoT infrastructure, yeah, we can say IoT architecture is a start with the sensors. Basically, sensor is a device that observe the environment and take some information from the different kinds of things, yeah, different things, and this information is carried by the for beneficial information and for some actions, right? So basically it is a hardware component, and it's the responsibility to detect the changes and to detect the activities, what is going on in the infrastructure, yeah, we are in the environment. So basically it is done by the sensors. Next we can say a transducers is any physical device. Transducers, that means the senders, right? And that convert one form of the energy into the another, right? So basically in the IoT, one we have a transistors and second one we have a receiver, and this particular send some information in a one form. Just suppose the transistors understood only the analog form, right? And this analog form is not understanding by the computer. So basically what is the requirement here? The requirement is here to convert into the computer understandable form. That means we are convert into electrical signals, and this is done by the sensors, right? And for example, a microphone is a sensor that takes the variation energy, yeah, sounds wave, and convert it into electrical energy. And next we will understand sensors may collect information and route to the control center. So basically, if here we have some different kinds of sensors like temperature sensor, humidity sensors, air sensors, dust sensors, right? So basically these sensors are using for getting the information of the environment, from the environment, and these information is carried out by the sensors. And for this, for what it carried out, for the some information extracting, right? And there are many different kinds of sensors like flow sensors, temperature sensors, voltage sensors, humidity sensors, and the its list goes on up to, you cannot say that we have 100 of sensors, we have a 50 of sensors. No, we have a huge amount of sensors. The every domain of the life, every domain of the environment is observed by a specific sensors, right? And you can find the different kinds of sensors in your home and in your offices and in your car. Just for example, if I'm talking about the self-driving car, so in a self-driving car we have not a single sensor, we have a lots of hundreds of sensors in the left side, right side, at the front of the car, at the back end of the car. So we have a huge amount of sensors basically to perform a different kinds of activities, right? So this is the sensors explanation, by which you can definitely understand the core concept about the sensors. So basically here we take the example of home, which implementing the IoT technology. Here we have a different kinds of objects and different kinds of sensing nodes which are using to sense a specific information and specific means from the environment, specific data, right? Just for example, there is a smartphone alert. Basically, if there is a happen something here, that this particular lady get the information by using smartphone alert, right? If I'm talking about a lighting control, so basically if you using the smart lights, then definitely if you are working in a day, light automatically get off, and as darker is yeah, we can say jaise hi raat hoti hai, तो light is automatically on. This is the concept of smart light. So basically through this example we will understood the concept of sensors. In the single scenario, don't necessary we have a 2 or 3 or 4 sensors. We have a huge list of yeah, we can say a particular list of sensors, right, for different tasks. Next we will talk about how the sensor work, right? So basic the function of sensor, yeah, basically the foremost step of the sensors to observe the environment, yeah, observe the things. Basically it is a bridge between the physical and digital world. Here we have a, just for example, this is the digital world, and digital world is nothing but it is a word that works on a digital form, you can say in a electrical signal or in a electrical energy. But if I'm talking about the temperature, right, if I'm talking about the humidity, right, and if I'm talking about the feeling of human being, so it is the form of data, this that is collecting, yeah, that is scenes in the analog form, right. Temperature, it may be a 30 degree, 14 degree, 28 degree. So basically what is the kind of information that is the analog form, this is a continuously changing in its values. So basically sensor collect the information in the analog form, and this analog form and this analog means type of values is converted into the digital, or you can say the computer understandable form. The first step of the sensor is a start with the detection and observing and measuring the value from the real world, right. So basically if I'm using the temperature sensor, so the what is the role of the temperature sensor? To observe the temperature of the day, of the night, of the afternoon, of the evening. So basically as the time is changed, the value of the sensors also change, right. So first step is start with sensor detection. Detection is nothing but it is observing the values and observing the information by changing and by time, right. Next step is the conversion, and this conversion and this step is required just for understanding the information and understanding the data, because system is not known yet not understanding the analog information. There is the need to convert analog to digital. So basically ADC is used here. Next is the data transmission, which information we will convert it into the digital form, that definitely we will transfer for the operations and for the actions. But this particular is carried by some network or some data transmission protocols, and these transmission protocols may be Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and LoRa, long range of wide wireless network, right. And next one is a processing. When we receive, yeah, when we carried the information to that the hub center where the information is collecting in the processing form, or you can say some filtered form, then this information is analyzed, and on the basis of analysis definitely we will take some decisions to perform the action on the corresponding data. And last step is the action and automation, because IoTs work automatically without human intervention, and this is done through only after receiving the exact information from the environment. So this is the basic structure, yeah, we can say the working approach of the sensors, in which we will go through some number of steps, and this particular steps is designed in the sequence, right. So first step is the data collection. IoT sensor detect and measure specific physical environments parameters such as temperature, light, motion, humidity, pressures and sounds. So basically real world information is in the form of analog, and they have need to convert into the digital, as previously I told you. So there is the example of a temperature sensor, measure the surrounding temperature and generates an electrical signals propagation proportional to the collected information. Next we will discuss the second step. This is the signal conversion and processing. Basically the raw data is collecting in the form of analog, and there we have a microcontroller, or you can say on-board circuitry, which process and convert analog to digital. So next step is the communication and transition. Basically, what is going here, the processed data is transmitted to an IoT gateways, or you can say the cloud platform, where wireless communication protocol is used to do this task. So here we have some examples like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, Zigbee, LoRa, long range, low power, long range wireless network, cellular network, and radio frequency, RFID, right? So basically these are some communication technology which are used in a IoT, and which are used by the sensors to transfer the information from one place to another place. Next, we will talk about the next step about the data storage and cloud integration. So basically, if I'm talking about IoT, where the data is stored, as you know, there is no specific infrastructure and no specific setup. There is the data is stored on a cloud. So the transmitted data is sent to an IoT platform, or you can say cloud storage platform for the further processing. And cloud-based systems store and analyze data and enabling real-time access from anywhere, because due to the virtuality of a data, because data is not stored on a permanent device or storage unit, you have the opportunity to access these data which is stored on a cloud and which is stored on a virtually storage space. You can access from anywhere, anytime, and any by any person, right? Next step is the data analysis and decision making. So basically, the collected data through the sensor is analyzed using advanced tool like data analytics, like artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms, and these insights are generated to trigger the action. Because for what these kind of information we are collecting here, we will to perform some actions which is automatically performed without human intervention. So these particular algorithms and these particular technology is used to do this particular approach. So basically the action is taken by the system or taken by the IoT is automatically, and provide some reports and alerts actions, right? For example, motion sensor की अगर बात करें तो it detects activity in the secure area, it sends an alert to a security system or triggers a camera to record it. So basically what happen is here, अगर कोई आपको कोई भी सिक्योरिटी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से कोई भी एक्शन, कोई भी एक्टिविटी यहाँ पे नजर आती है, तो डेफिनेटली जो आपका IoT कैमरा होगा वो क्या करेगा, उस पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन को रिकॉर्ड करना शुरू कर देगा. दिस इज द बेसिक performance of this stage. And last one is the feedback and action. Based on the processed data and analysis, action can be automated, and these action is taken by the system automatically without human intervention. This is the basic feature of the IoT, and these action may include the triggering and actuators, because the action is totally performed by the actuators. Just for example, turning on a fan if the temperature is rise to its average limit or too high, right? And sending alert and notification to a user's device. If you get some activities, your system observes some unauthorized activities with your system, then definitely the user get the information about this particular scenario, right? And adjusting setting for optimized performance. So these kinds of some actions taken by the IoT, and this is totally performed by the sensors. The sensor is without sensors, IoT is nothing. So here also taken another example, just we familiar with this. Just for example, a smart AC, if temperature sensor detects some heats in the room, the data is sent to the smart hub, and this smart hub is responsible to taking the action, and action is performed by adjusting the temperature according the heat, right? Next, we will talk about the characteristic of the sensors. So here basically we have some kinds of we have some different activities which is implementing in the sensors. So basically first characteristic of the sensor is the sensitivity. So each and everything is performed by sensing the environment. If I'm talking about the temperature, so the temperature is observed by the sensor by sensing the heat, right? And if I'm talking about the accuracy, so accuracy is a some dimensions, yeah, we can say how much your system is accurate, how much your measured value match with your exact value, right? And precision and repeatability. So basically here we talk about the closeness of the system and response time. And here we talk about some ranges. That means minimum to maximum, between of minimum to maximum. And linearity, low power consumption, this is also one characteristic of the sensor, because in a one system we are using different and huge amount of sensors, and every sensor device need to powers to survive 24/7 hours. And so basically there is a one characteristic also should be low power consumption, durability and scalability. And next one is the connectivity and compatibility. So these are the some characteristics which we should in the sensors, and by these particular characteristics we achieve the concept of IoT with energy efficiency, right? Next, we will talk about the some kinds of sensors. Here, definitely we have a huge amount of huge type of sensors, but basically here we'll talk about some specific sensors which are more familiar, because in today's era, somewhere we feel the uses of that kind of sensors. So basically, we will talk electrical sensors. So what is the electrical sensors? Electrical sensors are electric proximity sensors, may be contact and non-contact. If I'm talking about the contact sensors, it operate by making sensors and components complete on an electrical circuit, right? So it is totally depends on the electrical signals, right? And non-contact electrical proximity sensors rely on the electrical principle, means ये उस पे काम तो करता है, but neither indications for detecting metals or capacitance for detecting non-metals as well. That means it will work for both. That means not necessary कि it detect only the metals, it also detect the information from non-metal components, right? And next we will talk about the light sensor. So basically light sensor, also known as a photo sensors. This is particular sensor also used in your mobile phone cameras. Light sensor are photoelectrical sensor that converts the light energy into electrical energy, right? And they measure atmospheric light level and adjust the light accordingly. Just for example, in your mobile phone, if you are coming outside the home, obviously the sunlight is a high, your mobile phone definitely reduce your brightness of your phone screen, right? And these sensors work as an energy effective alternative, because if we are activating the high level of brightness in your mobile phone, definitely it discharge I mean to say, it get the discharge quickly, right? If we are activating the light mode of the brightness, it will go for a long time, right? And next we here we have a particular diagram in which we talked about some different kinds of sensors, like temperature sensor, moisture sensors, light sensors, motion sensors, noise sensors, proximity sensors, level sensors, accelerometer sensor, gas sensors, optical sensor, and gyroscope sensors. And this is the some specific type of sensor, not exactly all, but some specific type of sensors here we will explore here. So basically temperature sensor is work for measuring the surroundings, and they monitor the heat energy and convert it to understand data. There are various type of HVAC system. HVAC system, heat, ventilation, air conditioning system, and smart thermostat system, and weather stations where we use the temperature sensor. Temperature sensor are mainly used in electric thermometers, aircraft engine controls, electric power generations, and furnace monitoring systems, right? So here the some key field areas where we use the temperature sensor. Next we will talk about the humidity sensor. The humidity sensors in the IoT measure the air moisturizer level. Humidity, that means today is very hot, today is very cold, today is very means rainy type. So what is basically what kind of information? These are the some humidity information, and this particular this type of sensors detect the air moisturizer level or in the environment. And if I'm talking about air, water vapor, and other gas present percentage in the air. So this particular sensor is used by today's era, most widely used, and they are usually built in with the temperature sensor. You can say the temperature sensor is the combination of the humidity sensors. They are majorly used in also HVAC systems, and here the HVAC is nothing but is a heating, ventilation, air conditioning system, and also used in agriculture, and also used in weather stations, where because in the all fields we have that kind of information, and we also take some actions according to the means environmental changes, right? And they are useful in identifying the chemical changes in the air. So if today's air is more polluted, that definitely we will take some action against this particular situation, and these are also used in the weather stations for forecasting. Next we will talk about the image sensor. So basically image sensor, also known as a optical sensor, are inserted into the system for capturing and converting images into the digital signature. And these signals are transmitted over a network, because everything is carrying by the network, and this is the sensor. These sensors are mainly useful in a smart vehicle, biometric devices, and night vision equipments. Just for example, CCTV camera. If the CCTV camera is working in a night mode, so basically what happens is here in the darkness, and nothing it is visible. So how then capture the situation? So there is a automatic system, and image sensor have some optical means there is some particular application which is work in a night also, right? And they can used in a robotic surveillance cameras, drone cameras, and barcode scanners, and facial recognition and quality inspection system. Next we will talk about the pressure sensors. So measuring pressure or in a gas and liquids, we will use the pressure sensors. And we have another approach, another dimensions where pressure sensors are used. Just for example, weather stations, just for example, industrial automation and automotive applications. So here we have some pressure sensors like strain gauge sensors, capacitive pressure sensors. So we will take the example. Next we will talk about some application areas of the sensors which is most widely used in this field. Just for example, we will take the example of a smart house. Every person wants to build a smart house, and in the today's world, every in the every cities also developed the many smart cities just to make the easy of the human life. So basically in a smart home used a thermostat and security system and smart lighting and appliances. In the smart house, just you have a smart fridge. So what is the functionality of this fridge? This fridge make some notification and inform you about the fridge conditioning, the objects which is stored inside the fridge, and if you have some product is finished in your fridge, then you will get the automatically about this particular situation. And if I'm talking about the healthcare, so in the field of healthcare, sensor also used to monitor the condition of the patients, like heart rate, oxygen level, and glucose level of the patient. In if I'm talking about the in industrial area, so basically sensors also helps in the industries to automate the machine operations and to improve the machine performance and to detect the faults and to improve, increase the productivity of the company, right? If I'm talking about the agriculture, so basically sensor is most widely used in the field of agriculture, because in the field of agriculture, the soil capacity and soil means exact conditioning of condition of the soil is observed by the sensor. So basically this is most widely used in this field also. If I'm talking about the smart cities, so basically enable the traffic monitoring, waste management, and energy efficient infrastructure. So these are some application areas where the sensor is most probably used. So that's all about today's lecture. I hope you will get some insight information, important insights from this lecture. Thank you so much.